Hi everybody, thank you for clicking on today's video. Today's video may end up being a very short one. There is not a whole lot of information to this case. It never ceases to amaze me how people can disappear so quickly without a trace, and how fast their cases can become cold. And most of the cases, not all, but most of the cases I cover, there's at least an inkling of what may have happened. You know, there's a suspect, or there's something that leads you to believe this or that could have possibly happened, but that's not really the case with this one. There's very minimal information on this case, as well as very little information on our missing person, but I'm going to do my best to tell her story and get this case out there more than it is. Grace Elan Sabots was 27 years old. She owned her own business called Red Wagon Cleaning and Child Care, and it was based out of Portland, Oregon. Now, she was originally from Oakland, California, but had been living in Portland for several years with a roommate. She did have a boyfriend, but it is unclear if the boyfriend was the roommate that she had been living with. On February 28, 2014, Grace was driving her light blue 1989 Toyota Corolla back to Oakland from Portland. She had stopped along the Klamath River near the Siskiyou River access on Highway 96 in Siskiyou County, California. I'm not sure why she decided to stop there. It is a 10-hour drive from Portland to Oakland. It's about 627 miles, and where she stopped would be about the halfway point, maybe a little bit over the halfway mark. And you know, maybe she stopped because she was tired from driving. Perhaps she pulled over to take a nap, or maybe she pulled over to eat. The area is pretty rural, and there are a lot of trees. It's heavily wooded, but there are a few picnic tables and campsites right there where she parked. A police deputy passing through noticed her car and stopped to see if she needed any help. He did speak with her briefly and said she seemed fine, she was alone, and she wasn't in any need of assistance, so he left her there and continued on his way. But less than 24 hours later, on March 1st, around 8:30 in the morning, the same deputy was passing through the area again and noticed that Grace's car was still parked in the same spot as it had been the day before. This obviously surprised him, so once again he stopped to check and make sure everything was all right. But Grace wasn't in her car, and she wasn't anywhere in the vicinity of her car. He did not see her. When the deputy got out of his car to check the area, he saw something. Whatever this something was has not been released to the public, but whatever it was led him to believe that Grace was either injured or she was in danger. I don't know if he found blood, ripped clothing, signs of a struggle, or what, but he alerted his department and they came to the scene. Upon canvassing the area, law enforcement found a set of footprints leading into the river about 30 yards away from where her car was parked, but they didn't find any footprints leading out. Rain, storms, and extremely overcast conditions did create delays for search and rescue. The California Highway Patrol helicopter conducted aerial searches. Others searched the ground and shoreline, and boats with underwater cameras did search the river. They checked several miles of the Klamath River to no avail. The Klamath River is 257 miles long and empties into the Pacific Ocean. Grace's parents and her boyfriend traveled to the area to assist in the search as well, but no one could find any sign of Grace. I did see one news report where they were checking her credit card account to see if there had been any activity, but there was never an updated report on that, so I'm assuming that they didn't get any hits or find any activity on any of her accounts. There is very little information on this case. I have so many questions still. I wonder if she left behind a cell phone in her car, and if so, was it checked to see who she had been in communication with? Had she been going through hard times, or had she been dealing with anything recently? At the time of her disappearance, Grace was 5 feet 3 inches tall and around 130 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. She would now be 34 years old. What could have happened to Grace? Did someone or something chase her and maybe she entered the river for safety and got caught up in an undertow? Could this have been a suicide? Could she have wanted it to maybe look that way and entered the river and then crawled out in another area where police and law enforcement did not see footprints or a disturbance in the brush on the shore? It's also very strange. And if she went into the river and never exited, how did they not find anything? I know 257 miles, I believe is what it was, is huge, but you'd think that something would have been found. I know I've done several other cases where people, were thought to have gone into the water and nothing was found, but it always just baffles me that nothing, if someone's in the water for long periods of time, socks, shoes, things are going to fall off, and it's just always so shocking to me when not a shred of evidence is found. There's only been one sighting of Grace that I know of, and it was in a Facebook comment, so take it with a grain of salt. But someone claimed to have seen a girl matching Grace's description walking down a highway with a man, but nothing ever came of this lead. Law enforcement has stated that they didn't find any evidence that Grace had been abducted, but they've never really released what they did find there besides the footprints. So I wonder what the deputy saw that made him believe that she was injured before entering the water. If you have any information on Grace's disappearance or whereabouts, please contact the Siskiyou County Sheriffs Department at 530-841-2900. There has been no sign of Grace, and she has not contacted any friends or family since the day she vanished. Please keep Grace's story out there by sharing her flyer, sharing this video, and sharing her story. This is a cold case. I'd never heard about it. I found it on the Charlie Project like I do with a lot of the cases I find, and there was only 2 news clips that I could find on her story. So please help get this story out there and share it where you can. Thank you all so much for watching my video. If you are new to my channel and you've made it this far, hi, my name is Casey, and I post videos every single Wednesday on the lesser known missing person cases that haven't received a whole lot of media attention. My usual disclaimer, I mean absolutely no harm in doing these videos. I am simply trying to spread awareness, and if you would like to support me in bringing attention to these cases, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. The more people that watch these videos, the more awareness we can spread on these cases that are cold. See you next time. Bye.